Get an update now on the ground. Our reporters are at several Eskom sites where people are once again gathering to get those meters updated. Zola is in Soweto and Pilam Tembo is in Durban. Good morning, Zola. Are people aware that they no longer need to stand in lines first and foremost? And what is the situation on the ground right now?
Well, Masachaba, the elderly, to be quite specific, are not aware of the fact that they do not have to stand in line. In fact, some of the ones that we are able to engage with have been here since the beginning of the week. And I'm actually going to speak to one of them who has expressed frustration about how, officials are speaking to them at this particular moment. Mama, what is happening inside? You were here yesterday.
I was here yesterday. So I arrived here at 5:30, only to find that the gates are. But Minister Thursday night, hardly moditabe. We say who extend you the hours. Hardly fit a modi gates we bare retsa my have a sebetse today. So the lady also sebetsa mokia motsa gore ka usane re tlena koma are not tlang go se but ka 12 re khetha line ka motsa ka re Sunday have a sebetse. So re tlile go seng. Hare kena queue itelle re fola ke 2 queue 1 queue ba re tsa di ticket ha o fetsa o kena mo the second queue so ke botsa the brother o sebetsa mo Eskom ke queue itelle so procedure re sebetsa ya because khale reme mole o kwadisa mabitso ke re o kwadisa mabitso only one batho ba more than 100 so ha nkaraba a re sampotsa dipotso so go and ask the minister. Ke minister Joanna. Ke phone le ke I can add phone number and I'm not working. So the approach ya bona menace of approach is bad because gona le batho ba ba golo. Ko onando go swele motho why ba sena care for but re fitlile ke fitlile maybe 6:30 mara a go se go sebetsi di gate di kwetse.
Mama wa tseba gore deadline extended.
I can say they never inform us because Minister Anna Abu says we say go tomorrow ka di 24 ha ba re inform that's why re tletseng batho ba tseba ile deadline ile tomorrow ha ba re bolela so I'm very angry and frustrated ke batho ba bangata re nagana gona le batho ba sa bone mo pele bona ba reng ka bona go tadiwa nakoma since re a gona way forward.
Thank you very much, Well, Master Chaba, that was one of the residents really showing her frustration at this point, mentioning that they are quite frustrated by how things are being operated at this point, saying that there is no progress. This queue that you're seeing here is actually not moving. We've got people that are living with disabilities. We've got the elderly that have to queue here for the entire day. And I must tell you, this is something that you asked earlier on. Most of these people are not aware of the extended deadline. Hence, they came out in numbers today as they were under the assumption that today is the final day for them to upgrade their meters. I'm going to speak to more elderly people who are really feeling the pinch of having to stand here for, the entire day and not knowing what's going to happen. Mama, thank you very much for Nagwahao. Ufitlile nako mangmo?
Ka 6. Yeah.
Ke bona mama o kgathetse
ana khathala ke na le lengwele jwanong ntse re eme mona a re khone le go ema ra tshwara le ditulo a kere re tloetse geria sometimes ba re ntshetsa ditulo but mo a gona le ntwe eo.
So mama o survive yang go ema mo for the whole day o na le skaftinyana le metsi
ka tshwara next ke just sona stock switch se gore ke re ganyane ke ska
okay. So utlile ka deadline gore ba extendile ha isa kwalwa ka today is no longer the last day
kutlile mare go thola se ga gore tshwanetse re nke di number tsena ke re register in go bane o ka nka number eno o re mtlhomong ke re ke tsamailwana o tla khutla mtlhomong ka o san ka yona.
Mama buile gore nkane government a le arrange ka di ward gore le sa tla le tlale mo because batho ba ba holo ba tshwanang le wena ba sokola
wela mo di ma di council tsa rona go bane re ba votela ka nnete white re a vota each time ha re lose go gona le di vote re a mata tshwanetse council ya rona nkabe e buisane le Eskom then gore batho ba rona
ne re kopa hore o tlo sebetsa so le bona re tla ba tlisa re ba arrangele gore ba tlo kena gantle go fela tswana ba re etsetsa ntho eo re eme e ke nagana ke tla kopa o bua ka leleme la ka mangicabanga ngiqale e-deep to fall ngahamba angifika le ngithola ukuthi iqhuse igijimela e-hospital clinic basikhatha ke lapho bebagcina ngo-12 basikhatha lapho basitshela ukuthi kufanele sihambe siye Orlando abasitshela ukuthi no e-Orlando siye on a Thursday basitshela nje ukuthi iya baye e-Orlando sivuke ke thina on a Wednesday sitshone e-Orlando sifike e-Orlando hayi nakhona siphumelele akho bantu imali njalo siyabuya futhi fanele sivuke futhi on a Thursday siye e-Orlando e-Orlando nasifika uyazi kuze kwawa omunye ubhuti ushonile wawa khona lapho simile kulelo langa wow but bona khona ke bagcine ngo-7 nabagcina ngo-7 mina bese ngihambile ngibona ukuthi okulate ngahamba ngoba angikapheki ngicabanga nayo le Eskom izocima ngizodlana
Okay, ma.
sahamba today ngiza ngapha ngithi hayi ithi ngizozama ke ukuthi ngibuyele ngapha kithe Eskom namanje ngithamile akho into ezokhanya namhlanje nangibheka.
Siyabonga Gogo, thank you very much for your time. Well, Master Chaba, that was one of the residents. She's essentially explaining what she had to go through for the past couple of days, trying to get her meter upgraded. She's an elderly person, and as it stands, she does not have food in her possession or even water, and most of the elderly people are on medication. Now she has to suck a stock sweet because at this point she feels like if she doesn't do that, she might possibly start shivering due to her medical condition. And that's how the situation is really here in Deep Kloof, where residents are complaining that there is no progress, there's no movement. And one of them earlier on said that the officials were telling them that they are shutting their doors at 12 o'clock. And by the look of things, the thousands of people that we are seeing here today might have to go back home without being assisted. And I must tell you that, Master Chaba, most people, like I've mentioned earlier on, are not aware of the extension, saying that it was not communicated to them. Hence, they came out in numbers today, hoping that they will be assisted so that they don't find themselves paying that 12,000 Rand fine. Back to you in studio.
Thank you very much, Zola. My colleague Zola Sholwana, Newzroom Afrika reporter, coming live from Soweto. Now over to another part of the country where Pila Mthembu is in Ispingo in the south of Durban. Pila, do people actually understand how the extension works?
Good morning once again, Masichaba. Absolutely not, and that is why many of them are still in these queues. We also did engage with, some senior citizens earlier, basically telling us that they don't even know how it works. So what is happening right now here? The offices have just opened. I'm just going to ask my colleague to give you a view of how things are in those lines. There's been also a commotion over, the elderly people being taken in first. So there are also pensioners here who are being told that they are being deprived from being taken in, and it's only a certain, it's only a certain group of people that are actually taken in here. As you can see, these are live visuals, basically showing how everybody is just so frustrated about what is going on right now. I'm just going to bring in, this man next to me to speak to us. Newzroom Afrika.
Yeah. Hayi sibangola yini impoti la. Sibangola yini. Abanye ngala izarwazi siswangala shoniswa ngala manje sozenze njani impoti. Yona ke lento ubona olayini sibabangayo.
Manje nibabanga ngobani mhlambe izinto azenziwa ngendlela.
Uhlela ngala kuyila akuhlelekile la. Ngomthetho lento kufanele bihlelwa amaphoyisa. Namba abantu kufanele bahlela lento. Yeah.
Mawuthi akuhlelekile kanjani?
Funa basho abantu abadala bangapha abancane bangapha. Yona into ayihlelekile impoti.
All right, there you have it, Masichaba, basically telling us there that there is no planning when it comes to, moving these lines and organizing these lines. I'm also going to bring in Ubaba Ntombela to speak to us. He's got an interesting story to share. Ubaba Ntombela, siyabonga kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho. Khona udaba wangitshela lona just a moment ago off camera. Mhlawumbe sicela ukuthi uphinde usichazele ngalo.
Yeah, mina Baba Ntombela. Ujabula Ntombela ola ngisayeshalgate mina Golokotha efolweni. So ke uthe nje ngolosibili ase ngifonelwa abantu bagesi bathi bacela bawunqamula ugesi ngize nemali manje 800. So ke athi mina cha ngeke ngibe naleyo mali ngoba inyanga ayiphelile. Asobe izame leyo mali ngoba sikhona la sabagesi thina sizonqamula ugesi wakho. Asithi mina hayi kulungile izama mali noma kunjalo uzama ke imali. Ayizama imali ngayithola. Basethi ke labantu abazasa ngemali cha thina sinayo imali. My asazalisi ngemali sekuNovember time my sazalisi ngemali. So ke masukunika imali singanika 8,000. Bese ukhokhela 8,000. Wathi mina kulungile ngoba iyaphuthuma. Base benginika 8,000. Ase ngiphinde ngimafonela osisi laba abawu2 sisi sengitholile imali. Ngenze njani? Faka imali kwaSpa 8,000 faka kwaSpa imali. Cha ngeke ngifaka kwaSpa imali ngakwazi. Asenze kanje. Ahlangane nawe benembuzo engizokubuza yona sisi. Before nginike le mali, uqinisekisa ukuthi wena uka Eskom wakagesi. Hayi ke ngithi ngicela umsebenzini wakho futhi awunasikhathi wena ngemsebenzini wakho la usebenza sixoxe nawe ukunike le mali ungosika ukuthi ugesi wami. Hayi ke ugesi akona wami kodwa wagogo wami. Ugesi owami ne yakhokhela ngala efolweni yakhokhela wami mina. Awuna story kwami. Kodwa ngizama ukucover mina indaba yagogo mina. Hayi ke bese edlusisi cha ngizofika lapho ngcono lahla umqashweni laba alo kwagogo wakho bese ngifika ke hayi bese bethi ke ulungileke uyiphethe imali hayi ngiyiphethe imali enifunile 800 cha ngiyiphethe hayi ke bese bethi ke ngilungileke before nginika imali yini ezoqinisekisa ukuthi mina nginikile imali noma mhlambe ngizongisiza ugesi ube right njengoba gijinywe kuhlonywa ngogesi ngizongisiza mhlambe ngaphinde kube nenkinga mina ngagesi kanjani cha baba kusukela from now to end of January ngikuphinde benkinga ngagesi wena uhambe uapply ugesi by end of January.
Okay, Baba kuzomela ukuthi sibambe lapho because of time. Masichaba, Ubaba Ntombela, basically to summarize it for you, he had also engaged with us off camera telling us that there have been a group of people believed to be officials from Eskom, but there are no really guarantees that they are from Eskom. But what he said to us is that they were in uniform and basically going around inspecting houses to see if electricity is connected illegally. And if it happens that your electricity has been connected illegally, they will ask you to pay them, to bribe them so that they do not disconnect that. So now it actually raises the issue around, that particular context that it would be very imperative for Eskom to come out now and speak to the public and tell them how should they go on about identifying their employees. There should be some sort of a name tag, some sort of an identification, because we have also been told by another man that he was almost scammed 48,000 by people who claimed that they worked for Eskom.